I don't even know where to start with this. It's just so different from anything else that you might consider to be flour. Most flour that you purchase is monoculture. Even the most beautiful flour that you can possibly buy is normally monoculture, Triticum vita. Now, here's the thing. When you look at the evidence and you gather the information about how to nourish your gut microbiome, what was very clear was that the wider the diversity of the food that you eat, the wider the diversity in your gut and the more robust your health. Now, I was looking at this a long time ago, standing in a field in Italy, and I had a total epiphany. I stood back and crushed some wild oregano, and the smell was exquisite, and suddenly I saw this incredible diversity right there in front of me. And I was like, hang on a second, why are we getting so excited about a spelt loaf or a rye loaf or a Khorasan loaf? These loaves are monoculture. Here in this meadow, right in front of me was this abundance, this diversity. There were wild oats and there were roses and there were butterflies flitting around there was barley, and it was a population wheat from a family who'd rescued these amazing grains from Aleppo, and I was standing right in front of these beautiful olive trees, and all the diversity came at me at once. Now, for me, with my neurodivergence and ADHD, and I'm also on spectrum, it's, I guess, what you would call a sensory overload. But there it was. The diversity was right there in front of me. And so what I did, I came back and I spoke to Nick and Josiah at Hodmedod's. And I asked them if we could recreate a meadow blend of flour to create flour with such diversity that it would nourish the widest range of microbes, to encourage diversity in your gut while supporting diversity in the environment. And here it is. We now have 2 of the blends. The rest of the blends are created, well, almost on the day that I bake. But we do have blends also in the Sweet Sourdough School book. Now, if you want to bake with one of these, you can either blend it with one of your own flours, or now we have a new one called 0 Plus. 0 being our kind of baseline. I think there's 12 different ingredients in here, and the plus meaning you put your own botanicals in there. Now, what does that mean, your own botanicals? Well, if you're lucky enough to have access to a herb garden, you could add cocoa and mint, for example. Or you could add maybe, I don't know, 50 or 60 grams of rye with some toasted coriander. Amazing. Or maybe toasted coriander and cocoa. Or perhaps it's Christmas time and you think, oh, you know what? Cardamom. If you want to really knock it up to the stratosphere, maybe you put in cardamom, some orange peel, and maybe some saffron would be incredible. You know, the possibilities are endless. One of my other favourites is adding in wild fennel. Sometimes I dry blackberries and crush them up. The polyphenols in there are amazing. And the flavours are outstanding. So the 0, this one, means that you can play with your own. Of course, you can add your own rose petals in. You don't have to have a mill to do that. You can just chop them up really finely. You could dry them. My only caveat is that firstly, that you have a think about the flavours. You're not looking for flavour, you're looking for aroma. You keep the percentages relatively small, but also that you make sure that you're not grinding up anything that's poisonous. You know, if you're going to forage, make sure that there are no chemicals on there, and really make sure that you can actually use what you have foraged. Okay, we don't want anyone poisoning themselves. Apart from that piece of advice, enjoy playing, enjoy making anything you want, not just sourdough. Of course, I prefer sourdough, but you can make cakes and pastries and bakes and pasta. Well, you can make anything with this flour. It is, you know, flour. It's also part of a systems change program. It's something I've been working on for many, many years, and the profit from this flour, I don't spend it. Well, I do. With Hobmidods, turn all of the profit into vouchers that we give to the patients. And when our GPs that I train here are prescribing a prescription level sourdough club membership as part of social prescribing for lifestyle medicine, well, they are able to get help and knowledge to where it's needed. So the profit from here is turned into a voucher, enabling someone else to learn to bake bread for themselves, to nourish themselves, their families, but also to participate in serious systems change, because this flour doesn't just support all of those things. The flour also supports Hobmidods and their amazing work. And, you know, just the other day we counted 35 British farmers who are being supported to grow low input, sustainable agriculture with less fertilizer, less agrochemicals, in a way that is just beautiful. So there you are. Take another look at what it means to bake with your flour, and if you're going to bake with our Botanical blend flour, you are supporting such incredible change. It's amazing. So I guess the only thing left to say is share it with your friends, your family, share it on social media, and thank you. You know, it's not inexpensive. And I guess if you're buying this, it means that you also believe that it is possible to support change. And I guess that means you're a food activist. So happy baking.